Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Bones Collector. Yeah, cue the music intro. Go ahead and play that. Okay, now we're done. Today we're going to talk about a game by Antoine Bauza called Oltree, and the art is by Vincent Dutrait. If you play board games, you know who he is. Excuse me, it's Antoine Bauza and John Grumpf. So Grumpf, or however you say his name. So co-designers on this game, and this came out in 2021. And it's a crisis management game, much in that vein of pandemic. It started all this back in 2009 when that game came out. And there's been many games that have become popular because of pandemic. So this is one of them. So anyways, let's talk about the publishing of the game. It comes in a really nice box. And it has this bottom of this box, it has these quadrant of doors that hold everything that you use in the game. Which is pretty cool. I mean, it's like Chronicles of Avel had that same type of system in here, and that's pretty neat. I like that organizer that's in the box, and that feels pretty hefty. So I really enjoy that. But yeah, nice job with the publishing. Components of the game are fantastic. I mean, this is a nice job. All these resources are screen printed. The fire and the leaves, the furs, and these gold pieces, all screen printed. This adversary marker, big wooden piece. I love that. Very nicely done. Your health tracker's heart is wood. Very nicely done. These tokens are nice thick stock. The dice themselves, you have 5 profession dice that are all wood, and then you have an adversary die that's wood, and you have 1 acrylic die that is an 8-sided die that you're going to roll for locations on the board. So this is the only one piece in the game that really doesn't fit the whole be kind to the earth. But these are the coolest things, these rangers that you're going to play, and that's what you are in this game. You're a ranger and you're trying to rebuild this fortress and run through these chronicles and do different things. But these things are fantastic. I mean, aren't they? They're gorgeous, and you get 1 for each character. This plays 1 to 4, I think.
Screen printed on both sides.
Yeah, both sides screen printed. These things are gorgeous. Well done. Who is this? Studio H. Man, well done. And the cardstock is linen, very nicely done. Of course, the art is fantastic by Vince Dutrait. And I fell in love with Vince Dutrait's art back in the day when Rise of Augustus. The first time I played that game, I wanted to know who the artist was. And I enjoyed that game, and I enjoyed the art in it, and it made it all that much better. You know, his art is reminiscent of that type of style that was in Rise of Augustus. These character sheets are nice thick cardboard. So yeah, you get quite a few of these heroes, and there's 1, 2 that we played, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so you get 8 of these. And each one has a special benefit that you're going to start the game with, and you have a profession that you're associated with, and it's going to let you roll 1 of these profession die for having that on your avatar. So that's pretty nice. And then we haven't played this yet, but this comes with it. I guess this is going to be one of our adversaries in the future. This
goes with one of the Chronicles.
Yeah, it goes with one of the Chronicles. It's pretty cool. There's 7 Chronicles come in the game, and we bought one that makes it 8. And there is an expansion called Undead or Alive, I think is the name of the expansion.
It's not findable.
It's tough to find. I would love to find that expansion for this game because guess what? I like this game a lot. Laura and I just got done playing it. We've been through 2 Chronicles now, and we just got done playing it for the second time.
Chronicles.
Yeah. And did we lose the first one?
No. By the skin of our teeth, we won both times.
Okay, but the first one did we...
The very first game we played...
We cheated.
Yes, we didn't know we cheated, but we did, yes.
Yeah, we did cheat because we weren't subtracting for these...
incident cards.
Yeah, that are areas have that red...
Yeah. Perilous. I think they're perilous. Perilous? I think that's the word.
Perilous. Yeah, I think something like that.
You have to. Do that? Yeah, we didn't take one off each time like we
were
supposed to.
So we did something. But the second time we played it with the rules correctly, and we barely won, didn't we? We were. I mean, we had to roll 3 successes, and we were rolling 3 dice, and these are 50-50 dice.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 sides are blank, and I mean, we've had spells during this game where we were stuck on these problem card space and
the event space.
Yeah, and you would roll these 3 dice and get 3 blanks. And I think I rolled blanks
we did it yesterday. We did a lot.
Yeah, 3 turns in a row yesterday. So that happens in this game. The dice are going to chew you up once in a while. But we were rolling 3 dice. She was rolling 1 and I was rolling 2, and we had to have 3 successes. And I thought, well, there's just no way, but we did it. We rolled 3 successes, and one of hers was an effort success. And on your die, on these dice, if it has a success and a picture of a heart and a 1, that means you have to pay a health to get that success. If you don't have the health to pay, then you don't. It's an irrelevant roll. But
luckily it was the end of the game, and I didn't mind losing the health.
Yeah, she rolled 1 and I rolled 2 successes, and we won the game. That's all you had to do. And the Chronicle determines how many successes you have to roll depending on what you did during the game.
Yeah.
What you accomplished on this assignment card will help you tremendously. Every time you play one of these chronicles, you're going to have a chronicle that gives you a story and challenges throughout the game, and then you're going to have an assignment card you're going to pick, and this also lets you ratchet up the complexity or the difficulty of the game.
There's easy, medium, hard.
Yeah, and it has a little bird on the card. 1 bird is easy, 2 hard, and 3 would be more difficult, and we chose the 1 bird.
We played 2 yesterday and barely won.
Yeah, so anyways.
We weren't ready for 3.
But those assignments, when you get them done, and you need to get those done because, well, not all of them, but you need to work on them, and we only had one of them.
We had one. We were working on the second one.
Working on the second one, but you need to do these because it gives you help in the final challenge of the Chronicle.
Which you never know when it's going to show up.
Yeah. So, oh, man, it's rough. And then what you're going to do in this game, let me explain it to you, is you have this adversary die. Each player at the beginning of their turn will roll this. And then it's simply going to tell you how many spaces to move this adversary marker. Because every stack of cards you see here is awful.
Yeah, there's not good stuff in there.
It's just how awful do you want to be?
Some are less awful.
I mean, the Chronicle's going to challenge you if you're on that space. If you go here, these incident cards have to be deployed. Out here, you'll roll a location die, and that incident card will go in that region. And once you get 4 of them in a region, you start out with 3 in every region.
Yeah.
So once you get the 4th one, you put a perilous token, which is a red shield.
Just turn the green ones over.
On top of the, where are they at?
The green tokens that are on that
card.
Turn over the red.
You put a perilous token on that stack, and then when you get to this space the next time, this incident space, you have to -1 on your prestige track. And if the prestige track, of course, goes down to 0, you lose. If your defense track goes down to 0, you lose. And then if you don't complete the Chronicle, you will lose. So 3 ways to lose the game. These stacks of cards, again, are all bad. If you go here, these are called problem cards. You will roll this location die, put that in the region, and that covers up your community spaces, which allow you to collect resources you're going to need to build buildings, which give you more dice to roll. So you're balancing all of that. You know, you want to do the assignments, you want to gather resources and build these buildings, and you have to take care of some of these problem cards, because once this problem card gets put out into a community space, in this particular space right here, I was able to get these leaves, which we need to build, and once you put a problem card on there, it closes that space for you to be able to get a community until you take this problem card off of there, and you have to do, in this case, a traveler check and get 2 successes. And all the cards have story on them and lore, and we had a good time reading that anyway.
Our cows died, we had a mudslide.
What killed the cows? A famine or something?
Heat wave.
Heat wave.
Heat wave killed the cows.
So the cows are laid over in the field.
Then we had a mudslide.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Froze to death.
Yeah, but
we had frostbite.
You get quite a nice stack of these cards.
And the incident cards, there's 4 full decks of those, 4 or 5.
I think
and
so.
You only use 2 each. The Chronicle tells you which 2 to use.
Yeah. And you are going to, again, roll this die, move that adversary, do whatever action. That's the problem cards. I was going down this track, and then these are called events. All of them are bad. I don't know if there is a good event in there.
If there was, we didn't find one.
We didn't find one. And so you have to resolve those, each one of those as you go. And Laura's still learning how to use her new phone. She's had it for 2 years. And that's how you're going to start your turn. And then you get 2 actions. After you move that adversary marker, then you get 2 actions for your character. And
they must be different.
They have to be 2 different actions. And of course we made this little cheater card for our game. And it goes down the actions that we're allowed to do. You can move. You can rest, and each character rests differently. In my case, my special power is to double my health and provisions. So I would get 2 health and 2 provisions instead of 1 and 1 when I rest, because that's one of your actions that you can do. You can call on a community, which allows you to, one of these open community spaces, you can get the resource. So, geez, we only had 2 that were open. The rest of them had problem cards on them. And in this case, we could move up 1 on the prestige track or regain 2 health. If these weren't covered, the other things you can do are move up on the defense track, gather a leaf, a fire, and a stone over here, or you can exchange 1 for 1 in this particular community space. Then you could do a problem card, which is roll to resolve. You're going to do the problem card. An incident card, which are these stacks here, and if you have one, again, one of these that has a red shield on it, that's going to be -1. We got down to...
We were down to 2.
We were down to 1.
And
we were down to 1.
I had to go to that space to get us back up to 2.
Yeah, so we were trying to build a building, because one of these buildings gives you 3 prestige right away. We just never could get it done.
We couldn't get the leaves.
Yeah.
Well, and then we had to place that X between 2 and 3 so you can't cross that road.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Oh yeah, that's another thing, yeah. I mean, there's just
then we had to go around.
Now, the game's going to challenge you. I mean, it's going to punish you.
We did lose the game yesterday because... What happened? Oh, we didn't get all the imps out of the castle.
Oh yeah, but we didn't realize we could still do that.
Yes,
after the
we did play the game wrong a little bit yesterday, but we hurt ourselves.
Yeah. And in these chronicle pages, as they are turned over, you're going to resolve them, and then it may tell you that that effect is going to be in effect until you cover that chronicle card up. It will tell you on there. And some of those things go on in this game.
But we had one that didn't tell us to cover it, and we did.
Yeah.
And so we thought the effect was over when it wasn't. So.
Then you can if you come back to the fortress, you have the opportunity to build a building or a tower. And towers must be built. I mean, you're going to want to do that because you can close these regions so that more incident cards don't come into them. Plus, it's part of your assignment card most of the time.
And you can't put those on there without towers.
And some of the effects will damage the buildings that you already have and can actually destroy them. And once you get these buildings destroyed, you lose the effect that they gave you. And, like some of them, this one gave us up 1 on the prestige track. We would lose that immediately. That would cost us to lose the game in this particular instance because we were on 1. We were all the way down to 1. That was getting scary there for a while.
That was a close game.
Yeah.
We played an easy game and it was close.
And when you're moving this adversary marker, no matter what let's say you're on here and you roll there's only 1, 2, and stay the same on this die. It has a thing that says stay where you're at and resolve that again. We rolled this 4 times in a row on the event deck. Oh, I was just
that about killed us.
It did, man. I was like, what are the odds? But yeah, we rolled that 4 times in a row. But when you roll this, let's say you're on this event deck space and you roll a 2, you can't go 1, 2. In this particular instance, you always have to stop at the chronicle and resolve that chronicle, turn a page at the chronicle.
And if you're on the chronicle and you roll the don't move, you move anyway.
Move anyway.
Because
you can never stay on the chronicle space.
Yeah.
Incident space, lose 1 prestige per perilous region. That's the thing we didn't do yesterday. Problem if space is full. Oh yeah, place. Oh yeah, if you are placing a problem card, if you've gone to the problems and you're placing, you roll the location die. If it's already full, you go to the next community and put that problem card there. And then you can spend these provisions that you get to re-roll dice. And you can also use these provisions, 2 of them, to get a bonus action. And that can come in very handy.
I had to keep using mine for my power was to re-roll dice. But as soon as you go down 1 space, you can't use your power. Yeah. So I didn't get it very long.
But yeah, just a wonderfully fun experience. We had a good time, didn't we?
Yes.
We really enjoyed the game. The story is pretty good in it. Hey, the game is a lot of fun. You get a bunch of these buildings to build. Like I say, 7 chronicles come in the base game. And I heard... I think it was Z Garcia said, well, there's only 7 chronicles, and once you work through those, you know how to resolve all the chronicles, or you know what's coming. So he doesn't know about replayability. Let me tell you something. I'll be 69 in November. I could play this game next week, and I couldn't tell you what goes on in the chronicles. And we have 200 board games here, and by the time I get back to this, I will have forgotten everything as far as those chronicles concerned.
And we'll have to play it 8 times before you care.
Replayability, I don't think would be an issue if you've got more than 10 board games.
Yeah.
You'll forget about it. But I want to go back to these dice, and I want to talk about this as a point in gaming. These wooden dice should be in every board game. These are probably 19 millimeters. 16s are the normal D6s. A lot of games put 12s in. I hate those little dice. 16s are the normal size for a D6. These are a little bigger. These are I think these are King of Tokyo size, maybe 19s, but they're made of wood, so they're earth friendly. I like that they're made of wood. It's not perfect, but it's a better alternative than acrylic. These acrylic dice are just going to be with us forever, and I don't like that. So yes, I applaud them for using wood for these dice. I wish all board games would go to these, and the big ones. I don't like the smaller wooden dice. These nice big ones, they roll, they feel good in your hand, because woods, it can be a little light, but because they're larger, they feel good in your hand when you're rolling them, and I really like that. So I wish more board games would do that. And I love these better than that gray plastic garbage they stick in games. Oh, so much better, so much more immersive and thematic for the gameplay. These things are gorgeous. And I mean, I like acrylic standees as an alternative to unpainted gray plastic. But even those will be with us forever. Mm-hmm. So I would rather see things like this that are biodegradable.
Cardboard standees.
Yeah, or cardboard. Yeah, cardboard. Nice. Even standees are better. I'm off my soapbox of preaching, but this game's a lot of fun. It's got a great story elements to it. I enjoy it. I'm going to go after that expansion, Undead or Alive.
Yeah,
and then there's another expansion coming out this year that I'm going to grab.
I think it's out in the other languages. It just isn't out in English.
I think Antoine Bauza is French. Bauza or Bauza, I don't know how you say his name. I don't know.
We got to wait for it to come out in English.
Yeah, but
hopefully they reprint the other one.
Yeah. And we got this in Cool Stuff's going out of business sale for
$32.
$32.
It's about $60 on most of the game sites.
But
it's expensive.
very, very fun. And again, this isn't a hero game, so you've got story and you've got dice that are going to kill you once in a while. If you can't handle that,
we got a lot luckier today with the dice than we did yesterday. Yesterday the dice were horrible. Today they went our way.
But yeah, if you don't like that kind of roll to resolve stuff in board games, this probably isn't for you. I mean, and I just did that video, Euro Games versus Ameritrash. There's some fun to be found in all those styles of games. We enjoyed this. We just got done playing Grand Austria Hotel 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And we love that game.
Yep.
And we love this game. So, and they're completely different.
Yep.
And they play differently and they feel differently and your mood is differently when you play them. They're just different styles of games, but you can enjoy both, absolutely. But the publisher did a nice job. I love the dice. I love everything about this game as far as the publishing is concerned. They did a nice job. Yeah, okay, that's it. I mean, that's all I wanted to say, I think. Did you have anything to add about it?
No, I had a really good time.
I mean, it's crisis
even yesterday
management.
when we lost.
Yeah.
And we've played it 3 times and we figured out we did something wrong the first 2. You know, we keep missing little rules, but we're getting better.
I don't think I mentioned that once you have these towers you can build on the corners of the fortress. And once you do that, you can put out these green shields on these regions.
When they're empty.
When they're empty, and you have to empty them, so you got to sit there and go through these incident cards until you empty that space, then build a tower, and then you can put this green shield on there and no more cards can go in there. And that's usually one of the things you're going to have on your assignment cards. So that's something to think about. But hey, I can highly recommend this game. It's going to stay in my library. I like it. I think it's going to be in my top 10. I'm going to do a video of my top 10 adventure games, and I think this will be in there. I had a good time playing it.
And other than there's a lot of reading, and some of the reading is confusing because of the translations, but kids could play this.
Yep.
It's not
hard.
With help, kids could play this. You just have to help them with some of the reading because it's a little wonky.
Yep.
They use some words that are strange.
And you have different professions, that are in the game, and you're going to have to do profession checks. We have military, scholar, traveler,
and craftsman.
So those are the 4 checks, and your character is going to have one of them on his card. Oh yeah, and on the back it'll go through your tiles and stuff and tell you about the rangers here and which profession.
And all your icons are on the bottom down there.
So yeah, some iconography, legend right here. So very nicely done.
That's very helpful, that back page.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't know if I would like this game. I have to admit.
Well, we waited a long time to get it, and that's why we didn't get the expansion.
Yeah. Darn it. Yeah. I mean, you can't get all games, and you can't have all games. Speaking of which, we're going to be at Dice Tower East this week.
Wednesday.
Starting Wednesday through Sunday. Yeah,
3 more days. We're going
if you see us, please say hello and tell me what your top 3 games are. I love hearing that from people. and just talking about board games. I love that. And I love going to conventions.
You'll look like this.
I will look like this. Yeah, I'll have a hat on. Always at In Florida, I never leave the house without a hat because the sun is either beating on top of your head or the rain. And I don't like either one of them.
So he'll look like that.
So I look like this at the convention. But I think we sold in the neighborhood of 60. Did we sell 60 or 80?
Maybe 80.
Maybe 80 games.
Between 60 and 80 games.
Out of our library. And we have a lot of games because we do this channel. It is a hobby for us. We don't get paid. I've said that before. I get nothing. I have not gotten one copy of a game for review purposes for free from any publishers. We scout YouTube like you do. We're like you. We're just like you. We scout YouTube and watch videos of how to play games. And when I see something that interests us, we watch it 2 or 3 times, try to put ourselves in the place of the person playing the game and decide whether we want to talk about that game to you or not, and bring it into our library. And so that's how we end up with these games, and then we play them and tell you about them. I don't do negative videos where I trash it. I do make a mistake once in a while, bring a game into the house, we play it, and we're like, oh my gosh, how could I have been so wrong, you know? But I don't make a video about that and tell you that the game is awful or whatever. It's just not what I do.
Some people like that game.
Yeah, so that, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
They're all different.
Yeah, and you may have that game in your house and play it and like it, and I would hurt your feelings by saying something bad about that game. So we don't do those kinds of things. I don't do culling videos.
We did one.
We sold 80 games. I'm not going to tell you what those are. I love all 80.
It killed us to get rid of some of those.
It did. So, but hey, if you go to that convention down at the Creve Royale, say hello if you see us walking around, and let's talk about board games. I love to meet people that watch us on YouTube. I love every one of you guys. Please share this video. Please like, and thank you for subscribing. We just enjoy doing this just for a hobby. Okay, so that's it. I'm done rambling for the day, and I will say goodbye to you now, and I hope to see you at Dice Tower East. But if I don't, hey, keep on board gaming because it's the best hobby on the planet, and I'll see you the next time here on The Bones Collector. Bye-bye.